Hello, my name is Matthew Dark, and this is my walkthrough video for week 3 in cross-platform mobile development. I'm going to start off with a problem that I had uh, since I added the parse initialize class. Um, when I log out, it logs the user out. However, it stays stuck on the main list screen, and in order to go back to the login screen, I have to enter the back button here and log in a user. Okay, now that I have a user logged in, I'll go ahead and start with the rubric. App allows updating of user restricted data on the parse server via custom user input. The app user interface is always up to date with server information via a refresh mechanism. App meets all requirements of good column, and data is at least 2 different types. And the app UI is always up to date with the server information, and user's data is restricted to that user using parse access control list. So we'll go ahead and show an example of the custom the interface is up to date with the information that we're editing, and we can change the data here. And we can update it. And we updated it successfully here. And it is restricted to that user using a parse access control list. So section 2, app restricts user input based on the data expected in all instances. It contains good user inner feedback to inform the user of improper or incomplete data. The input validated in such a way that only proper data types are possible. And it's validated in 2 different techniques. One is a pattern, and the other is lookup. So we'll go ahead and do an example of that. It'll say please enter valid book, or if you have an empty field, it'll say field cannot be blank. And for the chapter verse, we have a pattern to where you can only have a certain pattern, and it'll give an example. It'll say please enter valid chapter verse, and it gives an example of how to do it. So application detects the network status and only restricts CUD functionality when no connection is present. Lack of connection does not log the user out or restrict access to the app itself. So when I do have no internet, you still have access to the app and the CRUD, and it does not log the user out. We would still be able to add information, and it would still save. Notify the user that no connection is present, and it also tells you that the information has been saved. In order for that to update to the backend service, you would need to have an internet connection and then hit the refresh button, and it updates to the Revelation 6:16. It has good user interface feedback to inform the user of lack of network connection. So we went over that. All data synchronizes and displays between both platforms and backend service. Data synchronizes when changes are made using CRUD functions or user control refresh button. That's pretty much what I have here. As far as polling goes, I didn't get to implement that correctly in my app. So I do have the good column on this one. Data is displayed appropriately based on user selections. All user interface views and elements necessary to allow for CRUD functionality and proper navigation are present, functional, and intuitive. App user interface updates automatically on CRUD functions. So that's pretty much it for this week's video. Thanks for watching.